White on black racism and the black civil rights movement is not the only racist time of the U.S. history. There is a lesser-known but equally tragic part of American history, which is white slavery. For millions of Irish, Scottish, and Welsh immigrants who were being oppressed and enslaved by England, they ventured to the Promised Land to seek refuge from their oppressors in their motherlands. When they got to the U.S., a similar group of oppressors held these already oppressed and broken people under their thumbs in Americas as well. These immigrants worked as indentured servants, or were not allowed to work at all. There were times in American history that black slaves had more freedom than these white slaves. During a Marcus Garvey parade in the 1920s, an Irish woman is quoted as saying, and to think, the Negro will get his liberty before the Irish.
Portrayals of Irish immigrants show monkey-like caricatures, visions of little devils messing up the jungle of the status quo. Smart but unrefined, clever but devious, elfin imps and leprechauns invading a civilized society. So climbed the Irish in this environment that was America of the 18th and 19th centuries.
They had a very tough time.
These Celtic people were oppressed and enslaved for well over 2 centuries. So when people think of slavery and current policies like affirmative action, let's not forget that the Negro race was not the only race of people brutally oppressed and enslaved. Marcus Garvey was quite a genius in his approach to racial diversity. Garvey sent letters of support to the Irish Republican Army.
Garvey's government in exile conducted its own foreign policy, appointing ambassadors and sending a telegram of support to the Irish Republican Army. He dispatched a team of engineers to Liberia to begin construction of a black homeland.
With and invited leaders of the Ku Klux Klan to speak at his rallies. Marcus Garvey believed that true racial diversity, unlike what we have today, where only non-white races are allowed to have racial pride, was the true way of racial diversity, where everybody had their lot.
It's real aim.
In July 1922, while he was out on bail, Garvey made a move that would lead his black critics to question his sanity. He held a meeting with Edward Young Clark, the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Garvey felt that the Ku Klux Klan represented the invisible government of the United States. That's the real source of power in America, Garvey believed. And Garvey felt that as provisional president of Africa, he was entitled to meet with the counterpart of white American power. And so Garvey didn't feel that he had done anything wrong. In fact, Garvey thought that what he had done was a diplomatic stroke of genius.
After he met with the Klan leaders and had them speak at his rallies, he was viewed as an enemy of black people. For a so-called responsible black spokesman to be having anything to do with these people was viewed as a complete and utter betrayal. This was too much.
Marcus is a true humanitarian and someone that all those who believe in racial diversity can respect and learn from. Thank you, Marcus Garvey.
25,000 people, black people, pack Madison Square Garden, and Garvey delivers this magnificent speech in which he tells the Europeans to give Africa a wide berth because we are coming home.
The day after Garvey's speech, a massive UNIA parade stretched through Harlem.
If you didn't live in Harlem, you tried to find someone that lived in a front apartment where you could get in the window and view everything. Everybody seemed to be out there to see the Garvey parade.
To be a part of the Marcus Garvey movement, it made me feel that I owned one half of the world and I didn't own the other half because I didn't want it.
One Irish woman observing the parade remarked, "And to think, the Negro will get his liberty before the Irish."
Liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you will liberate the bodies of men.